My name is Lyndsey Pachon. I'm a real estate broker and co-owner of Fall River Property Management. This video is part of a series entitled Pitfalls in Property Management, looking at mistakes that I see investors make as owners of C-class multifamily properties and how you can do better. One mistake that I see often is a client purchasing an occupied multifamily without getting estoppel agreements. An estoppel agreement is a document that's signed by the tenants and by the seller, establishing the financial details of each tenancy. An estoppel agreement is a document that keeps the sellers and existing tenants honest by asking both parties what the rent amount is, what deposits are on file, and who lives in the unit. Most importantly, it also asks if there are any arrears. Not only is it important to introduce an estoppel agreement to your transaction, it's important that either you or your agent is present for each party to sign. Here's what I recommend. Insist on estoppel agreements, but don't bring it up until after your offer is accepted, because you don't want the sellers to think you're a difficult buyer and opt for another offer. Ask your agent to label by unit an estoppel agreement for every unit and tell the seller's agent and seller to fill them out first. Once the sellers filled them out, you or your agent should have each tenant sign the agreement in person. If you already have a relationship with a property management company, they might be willing to get these signed for you, but there might be some cost associated with doing that. Be sure to have the tenants confirm each line of the agreement so that there are no questions later on. This is a huge opportunity to learn about your new tenants and to learn about the deal as a whole. Here's how. Of course he's saying he doesn't have a deposit for me. He lies. I have proof that I paid first, last, and security. I am so glad that we have this agreement then. Can you give me a copy of that proof of payment, Mrs. Tenant, so that we can make sure that your money ends up in the right place? Usually it's the seller that's lying, not the tenant, but that's just my experience. And usually you'll find out so much more during this process than what's on the paper. Whose cat had kittens, but now they're all going to be gone in 3 weeks? Who got their nephew living there, but he's not on the lease? Who's super nice and helpful? Who the property rat is? Who seems like they might have a rat problem? At the least, you will know what you need to know about the financial relationship your tenant has with the seller, but you'll probably get so much more out of this process. Make sure to give these estoppel agreements to your property management company when you close on your new property, because they will go to good use and hopefully be accessibly filed away. A final note, don't trust the seller to get the tenant end signed. And don't go home with a free kitten. For an estoppel agreement that you can download for free and use in your next transaction, please feel free to visit fallriverpm.com and click on the link in the drop-down menu. You're welcome. Thank you for listening and have a beautiful day.